And we have a countdown. We have a countdown. America, we have a countdown. You better believe we have a countdown. Such a countdown that I even knocked this thing over. We are less than 24 hours from Super Bowl 60. It is a slug 'em down, sip 'em slow Saturday here in the mid-sack. The Law Dog back in the triumphant return. Michigan State with a big overtime win over Illinois just a minute ago. So he's in all his glory. And look who fell into the gig. Resident Cowboy fan number one, Pete Mig, the brother from a very adjacent mother, and the brother-in-law, John McCosh, Patriot super fan number 1A. 1B, because 1A is right here, as you know. The highly questionable one. It is Lightning Great segment one on our Super Bowl preview show. Glad you could be with us on Saturday night. It is frigidly cold out there. It snowed again yesterday. I can't believe it.
Wow.
And yeah, but at some point this week it's going to hit 50, and hopefully all this shit's going to melt.
Yes. Possibly 60.
We are here to talk Super Bowl 60 with you. We're going to make 4 predictions tonight. You know that the original one has already picked the Patriots and Johnny Burke, but we are going to hear from the other side of the table because we have not heard from the other side of the table. So first off, we're going to start with Pete and John. Pete, first off, you've been watching this team up close and personal in the heart of Patriot Nation. As a Cowboy fan, he must be disgusted, although he's covering it up well. Your thoughts on the Patriots and how they got here? Was it a fluke? Was it meant to be? Are just the planets aligned? Or maybe this team is just that fucking good. What do you think?
First off, to set the record straight, I don't hate the Patriots. I just enjoy busting my brother's balls. 2, this team, I have watched them all year, and I've had season tickets to the Patriots since the early 90s with my brother, in fact. Yep. So I've seen basically every quarterback the Patriots in my lifetime I've ever had. This kid, Drake May, he's the real deal. He's not necessarily he's not the only reason they're winning, but he's a huge part of it. He's, what I've seen from the kid personally and up close is he doesn't get rattled. He's a second-year player. He makes mistakes like all second-year players do, but he bounces back. He doesn't get rattled. That's a big positive for the Patriots. We got lucky, and I live in New England, but the Patriots got lucky enough they hit on Bledsoe. They magically hit on Brady, and now they've hit on a third quarterback, and they've done it in this little amount of time. It's truly remarkable. The other thing that's remarkable about this team is they haven't lost on the road yet. They haven't lost on the road yet, and they were predicted by many to finish with a losing record. Some optimists were predicted as high as 8 wins max. Well, now they're up to what? 17 and 3 with no road losses. So when I hear people saying that 86% of the country is picking Seattle, I'm seeing 86% of the country that is sick of the Patriots, is what I'm seeing. Not 86% that necessarily think Seattle's that much better. Yeah. Now, from the football point of view, Seattle's a very good football team. If they won the game tomorrow, would I be surprised? No. Do I think they're going to? No, I do not. I think the Patriots in the playoffs, everyone can talk about the ease of their schedule. Well, there are no easy schedules, first of all, in the NFL. Everybody is professional. Everybody was a college all-star. They're pros. There are no bad players in the NFL. Everyone's a pro. And by the way, if every bad team lost to every good team, you wouldn't have any excitement. No one watched the league. You have a bunch of teams that were 17-0 and a bunch of teams that were 0-17. So what are we talking about here? And also, secondly, as a Cowboy fan, and I can speak to this, RJ, I believe, better than anybody.
Yes, you can.
You can have talent on your roster all you want. It doesn't matter. If your coach is not a good coach or is being puppeteered by the owner, in the Cowboys' case, you're not going to win Super Bowls. The Patriots got not only the best available head coach out there, they also got the best offensive coordinator out there, too. So yes. you got, I think, stole Mike Vrabel. I don't even know how the hell that was available.
Because Tennessee is
a bunch of idiots. Yeah, so they steal Mike Vrabel, and Josh McDaniels, who we all know is not a good head coach or hasn't had success as a head coach, he's an incredible offensive coordinator, and he's great with quarterbacks. He just is. He's worked with all of them. He worked with Brady. Brady was going to be successful anyways, but Josh was a big part of it. He knows how to coach quarterbacks. He knows how to keep safe. Drake May, what his superpower this year has been, because RJ, correct me if I'm wrong, he was the most sacked quarterback this year?
He led the
NFL in sacks, taking sacks, and they are 17-3. How's that even possible?
Yeah, you're right.
In sacks.
Yes.
And you're the best team in the NFL, and you, once again, I will say it again, they have not lost on the road. How do you not lose a road game when you lead the league in sacks?
Yeah.
And the easy answers are being from New England is we picked up probably, once again, the best defensive free agent available ever. A lot of people are going to say it's Micah Parsons. It's not. It's Milton Williams. Milton Williams
Oh,
has
yeah.
been a freaking terror for the New England Patriots. Every time he's been playing for them, they have kept teams under rushing under, I think, 60 yards under that, something like that. Every team they face when he's been playing, and the gentleman beside him, what's his name? The other tackle?
Christian Barmore.
When those two have played up front, no one can run on them. They can't. And then you throw in Gonzalez.
Yeah, I was just going to say Gonzalez, for sure.
You throw
And he
Gonzalez
stayed healthy,
in there,
man. He's been a beast.
and him in the secondary, nobody can score on them in the playoffs. Nobody has scored on
It's
them.
the middle linebacker who no one talks about, Spillane,
And
who had 97 tackles before he got hurt, was on pace for 150 when he got hurt.
Yep.
He's the best run-stopping linebacker in the NFL, and no one talks about that.
Now, I'm not
It's
going
all of that.
I'm not going to not give love to Seattle because Sam Darnold, he was 14-3 last year in Minnesota. He played for some terrible teams at the start of his career. He was a number one pick. He's not a bad player.
He's not a bad player.
I don't think he's a bad player at all. He could definitely win this game, but as they've been saying on radio all the past 2 weeks, he has had a tendency or penchant to crap himself.
Oh, he hasn't done it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's just a matter of time until he does.
100%.
That being the case, with the reason I'm picking the Patriots in this game.
Hold off on your prediction.
Okay. The reason
I wanted to hear that from you.
Yeah.
So you think that this is no fluke? They deserve to be.
Thank you so much. They 100% deserve to
Okay.
be here.
Yeah.
And the last point I'll make before I give it to John is the other thing they did that nobody wants to admit it, they want to make excuses about it. They went into Denver in a terrible weather condition and won on the road in Denver. Tom Brady never did that in the playoffs. The Patriots haven't done it, I don't think, in the playoffs at all. Drake May and Mike Vrabel did. And I don't want to hear about the quarterback being out. The weather was freaking terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And they still managed to go into Denver and win.
I think the weather was more of a factor than the quarterback being out because neither team could really do anything.
Well,
Yeah,
the Pats,
and also
to
the
his
Patriots-
point, the Pats' advantage was the ability to throw the football. Once that wind started doing this, the Pats lost their supposed advantage.
Also,
Can't
the
do anything.
biggest point of that game, the biggest reason I love Drake May. How many turnovers did they have in the Denver game?
0.
No.
0. Big goose egg. What did they have the week before?
2.
2.
Yeah.
And everyone was saying Drake May is going to fumble, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. He's going to show that he's a second-year quarterback and he's not ready for this. Guess what? No turnovers on the road in Denver. That's how you win football games. And with Seattle playing as well as they played this year, because they have, you don't beat the Rams, you don't beat San Francisco, you don't beat that schedule if you're not good. And Sam Darnold's been throwing great. Jackson Smith and Jigba might be the best receiver this year for the year. He might have had the best year overall of all receivers. He had a great, unbelievable. They got Walker out of the backfield. They have a good offensive line. They don't have Charbonnet. I think that's going to hurt them.
Yep.
Their defense is rock solid, and everyone keeps saying how good the defense is. But I'm sorry, people. The Patriots faced the Texans. The Chargers had a very good defense.
Yeah.
And the Denver Broncos had a great defense. The Patriots are used to bad defenses also. All 3 games were in inclement weather, to say the least, for the Patriots in the playoffs.
Yep.
And now they're playing what's going to be 50 degrees in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Drake May's not really a great cold weather quarterback, and it's not going to be cold. That's advantage Patriots.
Yeah.
Big advantage.
All right, so you believe they belong here, and you're okay. I get it. All right, John, you also are a diehard member of Patriot Nation. Have been to a number of games this year. Give us your take on this team. Is this a fluke? Do they belong? And in terms of the team, what do you think is the biggest reason why they are here tomorrow?
So for me, now first of all, I agree with everything Pete said. And I can make all the same points, but you don't want to bore you with the same exact thing. I'll tell you for me what the X factor is. And I never really hear people talk about it like high up on the list. Of course you get the 3 phases of the game. Everyone mentions all of that. But to me, it's not just the coaching, but it's the actual locker room. And these people, these Patriots, they all, you just feel they're authentic and they're not just saying what you want to hear them say in the moment. Like sometimes I felt like Tom Brady, he was, of course, part of a great locker room and culture, but sometimes I felt like he was a little bit measured in how he would answer questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But when you see Drake May, now of course Drake May is obviously probably the most coached player of the team, and he feels so authentic. But let's just skip over Drake May because we already have heard about him and we already know about him. But looking at some of the other players that could be subject to coming down with a case of the divas. Some of these receivers, they are just in love with the people in the locker room being unselfish, not, of course, it's great to get stats after the season's over and get your bonuses and everything else, but they all really want the team first, team to win. And I think the locker room X factor is what I'm going to say is the edge. And that is just like an intangible that I think is going to be that has been impactful. And now that they've been through the crucible of the playoffs and bad weather, and now they've had 2 weeks off, and they've been coached, they've had time to plan for these 2 weeks. I feel like the Patriots have the edge in this game, and I'm expecting them to win. I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle won, but I'm actually expecting the Patriots to win. And if there's one thing I have to say for certain is that Darnold is going to be challenged, and he's not going to have it easy. And it's going to be because of the Patriots defense. And I also believe in this good weather. Here I'm talking about, of course, you do have to mention Drake May, but he is the better quarterback, and he's the best in the league at the
deep ball.
At the deep ball. The deep ball accuracy.
His deep ball accuracy was number one in the league this year.
And he can rush. I mean, he finished out the Denver game by changing the play on his own, decided to run the ball, and ended the game. And I'm like, wow. If you have that amount of confidence in the execution to actually end the game under your own call, wow. And that's who we have quarterback.
Yeah, I have a name for that run. We call it the baked bootleg.
The baked bootleg? All right. Anyway, so locker room.
I meant to say naked, of course.
I said baked.
Oh, he said baked. That's
These
great.
gummies.
That's
One of these gummies
fantastic.
is all changed.
The baked bootleg. That sounds better.
The baked bootleg sounds good.
So locker room X factor. That's my contribution.
Okay, Law Dog, you are a Dolphins/Detroit fan.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is making you sick. I don't know if there's admiration from afar, but your opinion again. We're going to pick this. We're actually going to pick this game around in segment 2. But segment 1 was all about what we think. Do they belong? Do they not belong?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Tell me why you think they belong if they do it, and give me 1 or 2 reasons why you think it's legit, not a fluke.
Saw my radio show in Detroit that aired this morning. Right. We had a panel for segment 4, and it was all like we had coaches and we had our colleagues picking, right?
Yeah.
And we had everyone picked Seattle except for one guy who picked the Patriots. Only one of the coaches said he just liked the candor, if you want something different, of Vrabel versus McDonald. After a game, he thought there were things that were more, from a coaching perspective, impactful that he would say press conference throughout the year. The challenge was we need to find something that jumps off the stat sheet, because we know both the teams have 14-3 in the regular season. They're like, if you go down, there's a lot of things that are very, very similar, right? I cannot believe you said turnover or sacks. That is so great, because that is exactly what I used. I said he's been sacked 47 times in the regular season. It's 62 if you include. Now, I'm sure some of these are he runs out of bounds backward. They're called sacks, whatever, but that Darnold's 27. I was like, man, that's a lot of sacks. So if you're going to be able to beat them, you're going to need to pressure him and sack him. I mean, other teams have done it. So that was my thing. And then also I also said, hey, when does the magic run out? Because you got to understand, you guys got, from an outsider looking in, 2 franchises that I root for that never seem to get it right. All right, we're looking at this going. Probably like a lot of other guys in the NFL, like you were saying. But the nation's like, fuck this, right? Yeah. But at the same time, you got to look at it and go, you got to coach. And, I mean, the record turnaround in 1 year, you're in the Super Bowl. Man, that shit doesn't happen. No. 12 times in the Super Bowl. People were so mad. Belichick didn't get in the Hall of Fame, and he should have been, right? I mean, you think about 6. I mean, it's crazy. You guys have had a wonderful run, right? So then you just wonder, it's kind of like the undefeated season, where it was like the magic ran out with the catch, right? Like, it took that.
Yeah.
So that was everything. It was like, when does it run out? It's just, if you think about it, like, it's pretty crazy, the run you guys have had. It's pretty awesome. I mean, you guys have a good squad, right? That's no doubt. But it's like, man, it's been interesting to watch. Look, damn, they get it right. You the fucking coach in the first year. Like, damn.
We've been in 20% of all Super Bowls.
I know.
Literally.
It's wild.
12 out of 60.
It's wild.
What it kind of reminds me of?
Yeah.
It reminds me of when the Celtics lost they lost a big man or something, then all of a sudden we signed Porzingis out of nowhere, and all of a sudden the team was just loaded.
Like, you guys are good this year, and Tatum's out. Like
somebody's out, and all of a sudden we're good. Yeah, Boston's had, I'm not going to lie,
the GM
Boston's had some, this has been
an embarrassment.
Yes.
Embarrassment.
So you're like, man, do they get it right? Because you look at I know the schedule, that you guys played the same one we did, right? And I remember thinking, man, this is a pretty easy schedule. Like, no way you should have lost the Raiders, right? Like, that was
The 3 games they lost, they shouldn't have lost.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, those were fluky losses.
If we had Pittsburgh in the playoffs,
you had CJ Stroud, even though you faced the defense, it was like, oh, you guys didn't make it, try again. It was like, okay, 4 freaking turnovers, whatever. So then the snow game was to your advantage too, because you guys were like, we're in the lead, we don't really have to do shit. Nobody can do anything in this weather, right? So there are some things that have broken, but again, you guys have won. So play schedule.
So everyone on your panel but one guy picked Seattle. I have to ask this question because I'm about to shut all of these. These are all coaches.
We have coaches. We have just guys that are on our sports team.
I can't wait to hear this.
There was no real.
Did they give a reason?
Now, this is our thing that a lot of, I think, things are being overlooked. Did you know a lot of these sports outlets, you watch them and they say the same thing? Like you go to and I've heard a lot, you shut down Jackson Smith and Jigba, that's a wrap. And I'm like, but they do have Rashid Shaheed and Cooper Kupp. And you got Kenny Walker. Awesome. Yeah, and Cooper Kupp, although he's had 74 ACL tears, he's still like, he's like the third guy. Yeah, like that's crazy, right? So I've also said on I think the last show about we call him Chardonnay because he played in Michigan for a while. We call him Chardonnay, but
see, you told him the hate is real.
Yeah, the hate's real. Yeah. But I will say it was tough because I actually like because Brave Woods, Ohio State, you got Travion Henderson, and us Sparties will vote for them every once in a while, right? But we kind of stick together against the Michigan hate. But then I got Seattle's got freaking a Michigan former offensive coordinator. So I'm like, I can't win, man. They're everywhere. These Michigan guys are literally everywhere. But yeah, I picked it 27-17. I said it was going to be a close game, and somehow they were going to figure it out.
Wait, you picked Seattle?
I picked Seattle, yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was the only, but I figured I'd be the only guy in this panel that would do that.
No. I'm actually glad you did pick. I want to hear your, because it's not fandom, your reasons. Your reasons are football.
No, his reason was the luck's going to run out.
That's
what he said. What is the magic run out?
Or they're going to, they have to pressure May and sack him like every other team has, right?
Every other team has, and it didn't work.
Correct.
So if Seattle sacks him 5 times, doesn't mean Seattle's going to win.
My question
it's not guaranteed. But it's the one thing that jumps off the paper.
If it happens the way that you know they're like predictions, that's all.
Yeah.
If it happens the way you're predicting, how do you see Seattle beating them? Because, like you said, neither one of them have lost much, so something's going to have to go.
I know there's a lot of folks. If you look at like the betting lines too, like the over/under is pretty low.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was. 30-something. So I feel like it's going to be a good defensive game, right? And I remember watching the Patriots Denver game, going, the first one who makes a mistake, loses this game. And Patriots they don't make a mistake. Denver made the mistake. He just chucked up that.
Well, the first mistake was the fourth down.
And the fourth down.
The fourth down where Vrabel, actually, this is the thing about Vrabel, is that I think most people would agree that Sean Payton is a better coach than McDonald for Seattle. Payton's won a ring. Yeah. Payton's the more accomplished coach.
I agree. Yeah.
Vrabel out-coached him.
Oh, yeah.
He rattled him. If you listen to what Sean Payton said in the postgame, they saw pre-snap one coverage. And it wasn't that coverage. Vrabel baited him into this call, and when he snapped the ball, all of a sudden went back into a matchup zone, and the play, they didn't know what to do. So if he can do that to Sean Payton, no one's going to say that McDonald's a better offensive coach than Sean Payton, then why can't he rattle this guy? And he's got 2 weeks to do it.
Oh, for sure.
To me, what's not being talked about here, and I will bet none of your so-called coaches or whoever's on your panel mentioned that. Well, one of them talked about what Vrabel said in the post. Here's the problem. Seattle on paper has the better roster, but it's close. It's not a clarity.
It's very close.
It's very close. They're better in terms of overall talent, but it's close. Here's the gaping hole, and this is a gaping hole. Mike Vrabel is now in his 5th Super Bowl. 4 as a player now, 1 as a coach. That alone gives them a huge advantage.
Yep.
Here's the bigger one. Josh McDaniels is now coaching in his 10th. Mm-hmm. And no one's going to tell me that the Seattle Seahawks / 85 Chicago Bears / 2000 Baltimore Ravens. I mean, I swear to God, when you listen to the people talk about them, when they talk about the defense, they sound like they're them. And when they talk about the offense, they sound like the 07 Patriots or the greatest show on turf in 2001 or Montana to Rice and the Niners heyday when the Niner Express. Seattle is none of that.
No.
It's none of that. Okay? Are they a good team? Yes. 4.5 points tells me this is not. The Patriots were 14-point underdogs to the Rams in 2001. and won the game outright. Okay? And Vrabel was on that team.
Yeah, but hold on, that team cheated.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Remember I told you he was a Cowboys fan? There it is right there. By the way, his former head coach said
What gate was that?
yeah.
What gate
I
was that?
know there's so many gates. I don't know which gate it was.
Championship game.
That was
championship
that was,
game.
I remember that. I remember that. They slowed down the Rams' offense.
They did.
They did.
They beat up.
Seemed like they knew their plays before they did.
They did. Yeah, I know. They did. They must have.
It's weird how.
I mean, they did it. Never mind. You know, they did. You know, here's the funny part about that stupid statement. They played the Rams during the season. We were at that game in Foxborough. It was 17-17, and if Antoine Smith doesn't fumble, the Pats would beat them in Foxborough. They lost 24-17. I mean, they must have done their plays then.
Both
No,
They played then too.
You know what play
I mean, I guess they did plays then too back in November.
Yeah.
Where Kurt Warner faked a handoff to Marshall Faulk, who went in the block. And he just tackled him like he actually had the ball when he knew he didn't have the ball.
I know, that's pretty
and the
fake.
play that they've shown over and over and over and over and over again of the Rams scoring is on that very play where they fake the handoff and throw a dump off pass to Marshall Faulk. Yeah, William McGinnis just knew to tackle him.
Yeah.
A little bizarre.
Willie McGinnis was that good.
Oh, was he? Was he?
Actually, you know what has the playoff record for most sacks in NFL history? Willie McGinnis. He was that good.
Was he in that remote? Does he have
that
both
good?
plays reading lines? Because he's good at that.
He's the black belt of human rights.
You have agreed with me that Bill Belichick is the greatest defensive mind in NFL history.
So
yes,
yes,
Cowboy. The Cowboy fan has to come out. It has to come out. He can't help himself. Oh, he's totally wrong.
Crazy. No, I'm saying about the Pats being like
The advantage in this
there's
game.
so many advantages they have.
But this is the thing. That's why I can't stand why your panel went all Seattle, because it sounds like they're just sick of the Patriots. Because not one legitimate reason. Sacking them 5 times. You want a stat for you? You want something to blow you off the page? Here's the deal. The Seattle right guard, out of 90 pass blockers rated in the NFL, he is rated 89th out of 90. You know who he's lining up against tomorrow? Milton fucking Williams.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So, and by the way, Sam Darnold also leads the NFL starting quarterbacks in turnovers with 20. He had 14 picks. He had 6 fumbles lost. He is more than Tua. He led the NFL in turnovers.
I know that.
Okay? The strength of the Patriots defense, and he just went off on it for 10 minutes, is the middle of their defense. Seattle's weakness on this so-called great line is the center and the 2 guards. And the best way to blow this thing up, and they say it about Brady, and it's true, every quarterback, get pressure up the middle. Sam Darnold is no Tom Brady.
It has to be close.
And if Milton Williams does what I think he's going to do, Sam Darnold is looking at 2 to 3 turnovers tomorrow night.
And what does Sam Darnold have the penchant to do in the clutch?
Show.
Yeah.
He does.
So,
yeah.
he is known
And for those of you,
He is.
before we take the break, because we're gonna sell Pipey before we make this pick, because Pipey's around.
Big
Pipey. It's Big Pipey. No,
Big Pipey.
Big Pipey. Legend. Big Pipey. Here's the thing.
Is it
Okay.
the Dominican Republic that played?
Yes, it is. Talking for my birthday, 15th. Okay, here's the thing that jumps off the page. Okay, when the Seattle Seahawks, this is a fact, face 3rd and 7 or longer, they are dead last in the NFL in third down conversions from 3rd and 7.
That's dialed in right
They
there.
are
That's a good
dead
point, yeah.
last.
And that's what the Patriots schemed them to throw to Gonzalez.
This is what I'm talking about. And here's the other thing about everybody's talking about Smith Jigba and how the Pat's going to cover him. I'll tell you how they're going to cover him. He's going to get everything underneath. He'll probably have 8 to 10 catches, but he's going to be well below 100 yards. Everything's going to be within 4 or 5 yards. Nothing's going to go deep.
The Patriots on defense will do exactly what the Belichick Patriots used to do, which keep them between the 20s.
Exactly.
Keep it to 20s. Yeah.
Hold them to field goals.
Keep them in the 20s and make them kick field goals.
And that's why I thought it'd be a pretty low scoring game.
But here's the thing. Josh McDaniels, to me, is the X factor in this game. Because 10 Super Bowls is 10 Super Bowls, okay? And if you think after 2 weeks, he doesn't have 4 or 5 things to throw at this team that they have to see. By the way, here's one you want to look for tomorrow night. May comes out in the shotgun, and they go 5 wide, but 2 of those 5 are actually running backs. Mm-hmm. And one of them is Travion Henderson. I got news for you. Seattle's secondary is not going to be able to match up with all of that. And he's going to make them do it.
The only question is this will probably be what decides the game.
Yeah.
Will Drake be able to make the reads, which I think he can?
Yeah.
And will he be able to get rid of it in time?
Yeah, I think
I know he has the mobility to it.
By the way, here's the other stat. Seattle has only faced 2 running quarterbacks all season long, and they only ran 8 times in the 2 games combined. They're not used to seeing a guy like Drake.
Yeah.
Drake made last week against a defense that I believe is actually better. He ran for 6 first downs in the second half when Denver knew they couldn't throw.
I think
and they
Seattle
still couldn't stop it.
is also getting a lot of love because they were in one of the toughest conferences.
Absolutely.
All right, here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that. The so-called tough conference.
Yeah.
The Rams defense was ranked 20th. That's tough. That sucks. Okay. The
average,
Niners, it's below average. 20th is 13th.
for sure.
20th. The Niners, 17th. Below average, okay, and not only that, and not only, but hold on a minute. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. But, you know, Mr. Redoubtable One, who's not here tonight, he's never here when it matters. Was saying how the Patriots were spoon fed. Let's talk about spoon fed. Okay, this guy faced two defenses that he had already seen twice. So this was the third time seeing each defense. He saw them at home. One of them was incredibly banged up, the 49ers. Okay, and the Rams are just 20th. They stink. I mean, you know how bad the Rams were? Look at how open Smith-Jigba was. This is the third time that we talked about this already. And they had seen him twice. Their secondary is awful. The Patriots secondary is elite. That's not going to happen. It doesn't mean he's not going to get his catches. He will. But he is not going to be running in, out, down in the corner of the end zone. There's going to be no one within 10 feet of him. That is not going to happen tomorrow. It is not going to happen. And the fact that the Rams also couldn't pressure when the Patriots can, particularly up the middle with Milton Williams, who was a game wrecker, as Patrick Mahomes in last year's Super Bowl when he blew it up because he crushed Patrick Mahomes in that Chiefs O-line, which I believe was better than this Seahawks O-line is now. Okay, so we're going to make these picks in segment 2, but if you wanted something real, there's some real for you and everybody else who's just sick and tired of seeing the Patriots. There are real reasons the Seahawks can not only get beat, but get beat bad if they force this kid into 2 or 3 turnovers.
Let me ask you something. Now, take the other stance. How do you see Seattle winning if they win?
They have to force Drake May to have 3 turnovers.
So if Drake
2
May,
won't be enough.
If
They need
3 is 3, they lose?
3 the Pats lose.
Okay.
Yep. But I'll tell you, here's the thing. If all Drake may have to do is play a clean game.
I know.
That's it. He doesn't have to. He does not have to throw for 400 yards. He doesn't do that. It'd be nice if he did, but he doesn't have to. Don't turn the ball over. Okay. And the offensive line, keep the sacks below 5 or less. If he gets sacked 5 times, they can still win. He's done it against 3 elite defenses. If Seattle sacks him 5 times, they can still win the game. As long as those sacks, Jared Stidham, don't result in a turnover. Take the sack. Sometimes Tom Brady said it best. Sometimes the best play is just to throw it out of bounds. Off the ball. Off the ball.
I know his record's good, so it's probably a good number. But has Sam Darnold got a penchant for turning it over this season?
He just, what did you say? He led the NFL,
for
starting
quarterback.
As starting quarterback.
Yeah.
At 14-3, he did?
Wow. He had 20 turnovers, 14 interceptions, and 6 fumbles. He had the most. He had the most.
That's big for the Patriots.
He had the most.
Yeah,
so think about what I said.
Think of all these things.
While we I'd say blow him out.
I don't think they're good to blow him.
But I'm saying
if he has 3, I'll tell you right now.
You had all that stuff.
I'll tell you right now.
I feel like every advantage goes their way.
I'm talking about a specific advantage.
For sure.
Because I said Seattle, I think, has the better roster, but I think the Patriots have a bigger edge than people realize in coaching. And where Seattle is really weak on that offense, where the Patriots are at their strongest. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. It's strength on weakness. That's the problem.
For me, the Y factor is going to be what happens with analytics. How are they going to make these 4
Do you think they're going to go for it and not kick field goals tomorrow? I think points are going to be at a premium tomorrow.
I think so too.
I think the coach of Seattle and obviously Vrabel, neither one of them are going to leave points on the board. Not after what they've
I don't think so.
They're going to kick those field goals.
They're going to be safe. You're going to see a safe game. Yeah, as they should.
As they should. It's a Super Bowl. You want to stay with
I'd say both coaches are thinking to themselves, and I know this seems like a cliche and every coach probably says it, but not nearly as much of an importance as in this game. It's turnovers. If you don't have turnovers, if one team has no turnovers, the other one does, the team with no turnovers will win.
And another advantage the Pats might have, too, is Kubiak is already set to be the next coach of the Raiders. And I've already seen...
did you find it interesting that got dropped this week?
All dropped.
That was weird.
You want to know where I've seen that before?
Where?
When Patricia had that awful Super Bowl for you guys, and then the next year he became the Lions coach. Remember he gave up like 500 yards that game?
That was because Bill Belichick benched Malcolm Butler. Correct. Because of an argument he had with Malcolm.
And Detroit fans were like, are we sure on this guy? And he only lasted 2 years. So I was like...
he destroyed Goff.
But a lot of people, it wasn't even the fact that he did that. It was like, was he checked out because he knew he was going?
You know another team I know that happened to? When their coach said he was going to leave before the Super Bowl? The 96 Patriots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Parcells.
Bill Parcells.
If he
Yeah.
stays for that game or wasn't leaving,
The two-
Drew
probably-
Bledsoe played well enough. They came back in that game.
Yeah.
And
That was
they
the
keep-
3-day one,
and they
right?
keep
Yeah.
kicking
You
it
don't
to
pick Desmond Howard.
They kicked him like 4 times. So on Parcells.
2 returns for a touchdown.
He caught one.
Caught one,
And he returned right.
and he got MVP, Super Bowl MVP as well.
He ran one and
Yeah.
caught one, yeah.
Not that
Oh,
anyone
with the
cares,
coach
but I watched that game.
Smarties, we call him Dickhead Desmond. That's
They
what we
did.
refer to him
Yes.
That's a holy nugget. This is like a 40.
That's right.
He won Super Bowl 20. Was it
He's a
20?
Wolverine.
Yeah. Dickhead Desmond.
It was 85.
Yeah, so it was
30,
30. No, 31. 31.
I watched Super Bowl 31 from Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Not that anybody cares.
Nobody cares.
I do.
Anyway,
Take those 3 things in the break. You consult with each other about those. We're going to consult Big Polly about. We're going to come back. We are going to make our picks, scores, MVPs, and X factors. Segment 2, America, coming right up. Don't you turn that dial. Don't you do it. Don't do it.